When most people retire, they look forward to a quiet life and time to put their feet up.
Well, not Mel Tennant. After retiring to the beautiful island of Jamaica in 2003, he set up a turtle rescue mission and, to date, has released over 200,000 baby turtles into the sea.
He joins us this morning live from Jamaica to tell us more. Mel, hi.
Good morning.
So how did you first decide to work with turtles? Because this, when you went to Jamaica, it was your intention to retire, put your feet up, relax, and that is far from what you've done.
When we first came to Jamaica, we knew nothing about sea turtles at all. And in 2004, we saw tracks on the beach, and I thought somebody had driven a quad bike up the beach and was very annoyed. And I actually taught my Jamaican workers some new Anglo-Saxon swear words they'd never heard before. But basically, when we went down onto the beach, we found that it was actually a turtle. And that year, in 2004, every female turtle that came up and every nest that was laid was either killed or dug up. And we discovered that the actual turtles themselves were hawksbill, who are critically endangered, and at that time they estimated between 20 and 30,000 in the entire world.
So we know that, I mean, incredibly lucky to have them there, and heartbreaking that those nests were being destroyed. We'll talk about the threats in the wild in a second, but on land, why were the nests being dug up?
Right, first of all, the eggs, they believe they act as like an aphrodisiac, a bit like Viagra, so they make a turtle punch. And then the actual meat itself of the turtle, for an average working man in Jamaica, if they kill a turtle, it would be like the equivalent of 1 month's money. Wow. So it was an economic thing and a little bit of a social thing that they used to kill them for. But we had to very gently persuade the locals that that wasn't a good idea. I won't go into the details of how we stopped them using it as an aphrodisiac, but basically the one thing about hawksbill turtles is that they eat poisonous sponges, so their flesh is actually toxic and it makes people ill. So we explained that to the locals, but over a period of a couple of years, they stopped coming and taking the eggs and they stopped killing the turtles. And in that second year we were here, 2005, we managed to save 3 nests, and about 350 hatchlings went out.
So what are the stats on turtle survival rates? Because, oh, look at them, they're so adorable. But the survival rates are terrible, aren't they?
Well, the estimate is 1 in 1,000, but the estimates are more guesstimates because nobody really knows because of the remoteness of some of the places that they nest. Nobody can follow the hatchlings very far, but they believe that 1 in 1,000 becomes an adult. Now, we found out from our statistics that when we first started, of all the eggs that were laid, only 37% hatched and got back to the sea. But with our project, we've now got that up to 80%. So they've got more than twice the survival rate than there used to be. But then I'm also a director of the Marine Trust and work with the local fishermen. And when they realised that the fish were eating the turtles out at sea, they said, why are you letting them go at night? Why don't you let them go in the day? And I said, well, why? And they said, because the big fish that eat them have all now gone out into the deep water. Oh, wow. So we let them go in the daytime. And it means instead of losing 95% of the nest from the nest to the ocean, we actually now only lose about 5%. So not only have we doubled the survival rate of eggs hatching, but the survival rate is massively more. Wow. And the university think we're somewhere between 1 in 20, 1 in 30 have a chance of coming back as adults.
What an extraordinary job you're doing. How many are there in the team?
Right. When you get a nest here, and we've got one that we're digging up just behind me here, that the turtles will lay between 100 and 240 eggs in a nest. And that depends how old they are and how mature they are. But at the same time, what then happens is you know, you get sort of predators on land, you get the predators at sea. So what we're trying to do is to stop all the things that we control, but keep it as natural as possible.
And are you going to release some this morning, did we hear?
We are, yeah.
Can we see?
I'll just turn to Omar. Are they out? Can you pass me one? Omar's just taken them out of the nest and they're in the bucket. You can see Omar just behind me. He'll bring one of the hatchlings over so I can show you what they look like close up. Oh no, he's just, yeah. He'll be a second or two and he'll do that.
All right, don't worry.
That's all right.
That's absolutely fine. Did you ever imagine you'd be spending your retirement doing this?
No. When we came to Jamaica, my wife and I, we were going to set up a small guest house. We managed to buy a property that overlooked the beach, and so consequently the guest house seemed a really good idea. And then turtles really took over, but also the main road outside was being redeveloped as the North Coast Highway, and it took them 4 years to get from digging it up to putting asphalt down. And so we really couldn't open up as a guest house, but then in that time, the turtles started to happen. So here's the first one. Hang on, let's find the camera.
So sweet.
There you go.
Oh.
That's it. Oh.
Now, it's covered in sand. Now, what we do is we normally wash them, and then what we're looking at is for the belly button to make sure it's healed, because they've grown off an egg, and at different parts of the nest, they incubate at different rates. And so consequently, some of them may not be fit to go to sea. If they're not, we've built an incubator upstairs that's out of an old deep freeze, and we cook them for a couple of days at 30 degrees, and then they're perfect condition to be released.
Oh, my
And that
goodness.
way we save more. Also, when you get nests in the wild, the turtles dig themselves out, and from when they hatch out of the shell, it takes them 3 days to dig to get to the surface, and then they cross the beach. So it gives them time to heal.
Yeah.
But if they haven't healed properly, or they're right at the bottom of the nest, you could find 4 or 5 dead turtles when you open up the nest. But the way that we do it, it means that every turtle that hatches survives.
Can you, we're going to call that one Davina. Can you release Davina into the sea?
We're going to do a whole lot. We've got about 100 or so behind us.
Oh.
So what we're going to actually do in a few minutes is we'll put it down, or when you tell me, we'll put it on the beach and you can watch them walk across.
Well, we'll let you get set up, and so we've got a couple of other things to do. So if you get yourself all set up, and then we'll watch them be released. Is that all right, Mel?
No problem at all.
Right, we'll be back with you in 4 or 5 minutes.
OK, no problem.
Right. Back to Mel now. And there go the turtles. He's releasing the turtles. There they go.
Oh, it really is beautiful,
goodness.
isn't it?
On their way to the sea. Good luck.
And I mean, look at them. They are so tiny. They look so vulnerable.
Look after each other.
I'd love to hear, like, imagine what they're all talking to each other. Is it this way? I think it's this way. I think I can hear the sea.
It's a long way, isn't it? It's a long way.
It's a long wait. Apparently, there is a reason that they have to walk such a distance. It's important for them to. And the way that they know where the sea is, is by the sun.
Yeah. And also, if the mother builds the nest too close to the sea, the tide comes in and drowns them. They've got to be in the dry sand at the top.
Yeah.
There we go. Ah, that's lovely. That's nice to see. Well, good luck to all of them.